On this episode of the Meliza Show, we went to Trinidad and Tobago and spoke with Dwayne John Bravo, better known as DJ Bravo, to learn about his Trinidadian roots. We spoke about everything from music to cricket to his upbringing and unique habits. What's going on, everybody? Today on the Meliza Show, I've got the one and only DJ Bravo. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm so happy to be here right now. We're actually in 47 Production Studios. This is your studio, right?
Yes.
Yep.
This is my studio.
He did. That was how we coordinated. He's like, I actually have a studio. I was like, perfect. It's as if it just happened just so naturally and like it just made sense. But first of all, I want to congratulate you on everything, your career, your, all the things that you've been doing in terms of sports and music. And now, this isn't it, your next venture, I'm thinking. But I just want to congratulate you to start.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, since we're on the topic of music and we're in the studio, I would love to know. I mean, we all know Mr. Champion sound, okay? We're not gonna bust the booth right now, but we can do it later. How did that really get started for you?
How not? I think I answered this question a million times in life. How I get involved in music, long story short, is by my music inspiration came from Beanie Man.
Mm-hmm.
And but we all have that kind of connection with music,
Right.
So coming from the Caribbean, it's a big part of our culture.
Yeah.
And growing up, it's always soca and dancehall and competition, who is better, Beanie, Bounty, Buju, and all these things, Marshall, Bungie, Iowa. So music is part of life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone can go through a day without listening music. And there's different genres, so it's just up to you. And I'm passionate about it, and I'm just passionate about life on the whole.
Yeah.
And music is life.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about times in which you were growing up, you mentioned looking up to these artists and these people and wanting to tap into that industry. Did you ever think that, we'd be here today in terms of having a studio, starting to produce for other music, etc.?
No, I never think that growing up. But like I said, when you idolize someone, you always put them in a zone that you don't think you can reach to that level. It's the same thing with me at cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I never think growing up as a kid I will achieve what I have achieved in cricket. I just know I love the sport. I want to play it. I want to represent my country, make my parents proud, and these things. But I never envisioned the level of success or the amount of success that I've achieved. Brian Lara is my idol.
Mm-hmm.
You see what he has achieved. For me, it was like there is no way anybody else could achieve anything close to that. Definitely Lara is a league on his own. But I created my own small little legacy and my own little story, and I'm just happy with my achievement and what I have done for the sport, and also to empower others and inspire others to also fall in love with the game and achieve their goals.
Yeah. And when you look at yourself as a kid, when you grew up, especially in the Caribbean, Trinidad, Santa Cruz, what would you say about this, some of the things that you experienced, obstacles, times in which you thought maybe this wasn't the path you wanted to take?
Yeah, when I look back now, coming from Santa Cruz is a very small village, very family-oriented village. Everybody know everybody, and it's a village where a lot of sporting activities take place. So you and your cousins, friends, my brothers, we all, and then back then there's always cricket season, football season, then they have, track and field, and growing up we always try to take part in every sport. And I think it also helped when you grow up by a recreation ground. So you come from school, you change your clothes, the first thing you want to do, you go to the savannah, and whether it's football or cricket, basketball, you try to take part in it. And I think that helped me to be very athletic. and also helped me to stay grounded and just enjoy doing these things. And I think now in this time, in this generation, as you say, this new generation, you're seeing a lot of kids now moving away from being active in sport, and yeah, they're playing the sport with the fingers now.
Yeah.
And again, not to knock anyone, that's just the reality. Times change. Maybe 30 years ago, I wish I could have played Nintendo. I wish I could have had access to play games, but it wasn't back then. But I'm also happy that I was able to grow up in an era where it is, the actual real sport is what make you a person. And to the young people out there, I think it's very important to be very active. Yes, you have, your social life and want to play these games and stuff, but being active and playing outdoor sports help you physically, help you mentally, and also it allows you to be more open-minded. And I think now this generation are a little too sheltered and too soft, so.
Times have changed for sure, and I think that you're right. Just thinking about having access to a recreational field or being able to play sports in the palm of your hands versus having a phone or technology right there at your fingertips. It's more, you get the experience of having to do those different things. But you mentioned basketball, you mentioned a couple of other sports. Would you ever have thought of pursuing any of those as a career, or was that ever something that you dreamt of, but decided to go the direction of cricket?
Well, cricket is definitely the sport I was born to play because that is my natural gift. And then my parents is big into cricket, and everyone in the village is big into cricket. I did represent my school in playing football, child quality government. So I play, as you call it, intercal. So that is the highest level of football you can play in school.
Big time.
So I used to goalkeep, and I also used to play striking. I play basketball as well, but not at a school level, but just competing. And even today, I still play basketball. I still go on evenings and play to keep myself active and stuff. But those are two sports I definitely like. But cricket is where my gift from God came from, and I'm happy that I was able to use it to my ability.
And you've been mentioning your parents, your family a lot. Was there ever a time that, they may not have supported some of the things that you thought of, or they did and you wanted to go a different direction? Because a lot of the time, say for example, we're brought up in recognizing as immigrant parents for us in like North America.
Yeah.
You got to go to school. You got to get a degree. You got to get to the next level, be a doctor, do this, get something very much more formal. Being a professional athlete, has there ever been a time where you and your family had to get those to the conversation?
No, we never had clash, and I know for my dad, he never wanted me to play football.
No football.
Especially goalkeeping, because obviously he see there's something dangerous, when you're goalkeeping, you dive in, someone clash with you, and he is definitely was more of a concern of me getting injured and not being able to play cricket, because like I said, I started cricket at 5'6". When I was 10 years old, I make the under 15 team, but in school when I'm in like 13, 14, 15, I started to play football. He was a little worried about that.
Yeah.
My mom is a more laid back one. She is the one who more interested in me making sure that from a school level that I do my school work and stuff. My dad wasn't much more into that. He was more focused on don't get injured. And but I had parents that are very supportive in anything that I do, and I'm very thankful for that.
No, that's awesome. And I feel like when you have that great support system, the sky's the limit, right? Or, there's just so much more ahead of you because you know that someone's got your back, or especially your parents are being there for you. You did mention injuries, and I know that you, of course, as much as your dad tried to prevent it from it happening, it does happen and in your career. So tell me more about how you navigated some of those times.
Yeah, being an athlete, it's part of life. It's part of the being a professional athlete. And for me, I had some, I had 4 surgeries. I had ankle surgery, knee surgery, hamstring surgery, all on this leg.
On the left leg.
Yeah, all on this leg here. 3 different surgeries. I had 2 broken collarbones, and I also have a finger surgery. So being a professional athlete, those are some of the challenges you face. Um, but having said that, I played 22 years at the highest level, and I'm very grateful that none of my injuries were career threatening. I was able to bounce back,
Right.
and still fairly have a decent career. To all the athletes out there, these are things you face, and some injuries you can't prevent. Some, have a lot to do with your work ethic, your diet, and all these things. How you rest, how you recover after a game. But yeah, they don't have control when they get injured, and sometimes your mind keep trying to tell you can keep going, but your body doesn't respond, and that's where injuries do happen. And for me, it was like my last injury that I get was playing my last game in Trinidad in the CPL. I tear my groin, and again, that when I know it's time to call it a day.
You're right. Sometimes your mind is always focused on wanting to just keep going, keep going. I could do it still. I could do it still. And then your body is saying otherwise. So I have to listen to it. You've played for a different team, or just overall, you've been in different places around the world. I know India, you spent a lot of time in. I know you've also, gotten a chance to experience just the world, like I mentioned. Any highlights and any call-outs on some of how that was?
Highlights, there's so many highlights throughout my career. It's hard to really pinpoint what are some highlights, but I was fortunate enough again to travel the world. India definitely is a place that the top of my heart because of the love and appreciation I get over there. My biggest fan base is from there, and they're just nice people. And to be someone who all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, as they call it, and then to develop such a big fan base in a country that is, we all know, the second highest population in the world, and I just appreciate that. And Australia is another place I enjoy. Over the years, I had a lot of success over there as well, and the country is such a beautiful country. But in a nutshell, I had success in all these different countries, but different moments.
Right.
So it's just
It's an accumulation of like those different times that you spent there. Say it was this year or that year, you had a moment, and that was like the accumulation of all together.
Yeah, so like India, I won a World Cup, and India also is where champion blowed up. Yes. I release a song in India, and then it becomes like this global hit.
Yeah. Global enough to hit Toronto and everywhere else, which is hence why I was dancing to the song. but no, honestly, like it just, like you said, the impact was there, and it was just because of those moments. When you think about, living this lifestyle, and now you're retired and you've kind of, you're putting your force into different things, what are some things that you may be perceived as, or some people may think of you, and we were kind of having a chat about this earlier off camera, but what are some things that you would say is not exactly as it seems from who you are?
Well, a lot of people obviously will just see me from TV, social media. A lot of, not the average person will have access to my day-to-day life,
Right.
or access in my inner circle. Well, a lot of people, they see the flashy side. They see, the flamboyant lifestyle. They see the glitz and the glans, as they call it. But what some people know, but unless you get into my space, you get to see the different side of me, and that is like by nature, I'm very laid back. I'm very simple. You know, I don't worry about things I don't have control over.
Right.
I'm big in living a life in a particular way where you should always be able to be in a position to help and inspire others without looking for anything in return. I'm big on good energy. I'm big on upliftment. But in my own space and like, I'm very simple as well. So I like, when it comes to food, I like local food. My dad is my cook. He come and cook for me every day in my house. And once I'm in Trinidad, anything local, that's what I'm interested in. So the doubles, the roti, the pilau, the bacon shack, all these things, is the things I enjoy. I enjoy cornflakes, you know. I enjoy
Is that your favorite cereal?
Yeah, I like the frosted flakes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, and when I eat my frosted flakes, I cannot open the pack, put the milk in, and eat it one time. I have to wait till that soak in.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. hold on.
I literally have to wait till that soak in, get like really wet.
Really?
And yeah.
I enjoy the crunch of cornflakes. No?
No, I don't
Hold
like it
on.
like that. So again, you have to be in that space to know that and understand that, you know.
Okay.
I don't like to eat hot food. So a funny story is like, if you like serve me hot food and I start to eat it, I realize it like really hot. I put the food in the fridge for like a minute.
Hold on.
And then take it back out.
I would never have known these things.
Yeah.
So
So that you get the actually exclusive.
Oh.
You understand?
it's only here on the Meliza Show. Sorry.
So yeah, I don't like hot food. I love my cornflakes soggy. I like well, a lot of people know I don't drink alcohol, so I don't drink alcohol. I don't gamble. I don't smoke. What else is there? I'm just in my own space. I'm a cuddler. And also whoever is the young
lucky
lady
enough.
in my space, they have to have the baby spoon.
For real? Hold on. Is this a joke?
No, that's me.
He's the baby spoon, everybody.
Yeah, everybody, they have to like
They have
pamper
to
me.
be
and
on the
all
back, you're in the front. Okay.
this. Yeah, so.
And you're
But in a nutshell, again, I'm not really. It looked like I'm flamboyant and flashy because I like nice things. I love nice things. I like to dress nice, look nice, drive nice vehicle because I'm in a position in my life now where I could afford it. But even when I couldn't afford it, I still used to like to dress nice.
Yeah.
You know, so if I wore shoes, I'd make sure that shoes is really clean and nice, and my shirt will match my shoes and these things.
right.
Yeah, but I guess everything else is simple.
Thank you for taking us through that. I would have never guessed soggy cornflakes. I would have never guessed cold food. Because I kid you not, I was actually, I'm not going to name the names, but I actually had cold food yesterday and I wasn't too happy about it. I actually liked it. I was telling somebody I actually like when it's piping hot because, you know, it's freshly made and it's
I don't like hot food. It's not like cold. I just don't. I just like it. That's
ready to eat.
I want to be able to eat the food
don't wanna-
without like blowing,
Yeah.
and, like, you know. I
Yeah.
don't eat pepper also.
Oh.
So everyone say, what kind of Trinidad don't eat pepper? How do you eat doubles? Is that the thing?
It's like pepper. No
Well,
pepper.
no pepper in my doubles, and all I want is the Mara and the cheddar.
Interesting.
That's it. Yeah,
Simple.
so
Very simple.
simple guy.
I definitely have to eat doubles one day. Hopefully, maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah, something I don't mind eating doubles. I enjoy it.
Yeah, we should get doubles soon. I'm hungry now. aside from the local food of Trinidad
Yeah.
and your own and cornflakes, is there any other dishes that you've tried? Again, you spent some time in India. I know they've got really good cuisine there. Any other favorite foods that you had?
When I'm traveling, honestly, I enjoy eating. So if I go to restaurants, I enjoy steak, lamb chops. I enjoy. Those are the main thing. Very big pastas,
Okay.
but
Gotta watch the crowd.
more about I love a good steak. That's something that I enjoy the most.
How do you have it? Medium rare, medium well?
Don't kill me, but I love my steak very well done.
Very well
no
done.
Medium, no rare. Very well done.
No cake, no juice, no like none of them.
No,
Okay.
no, just very well done. All my red meats, I like it very well done.
And sides? You prefer like a mashed potato with that?
Yeah, mashed potatoes, rice, no vegetables. No,
Hold on, wait, do you eat any vegetables at all?
no,
What?
no.
I just growing up, you just never liked vegetables.
No, my mom used to make it and put it in my plate, and I say, "Oh, just leave it back." Like, yeah.
Wow.
Another thing I love is kiss cake.
It's cheesecake.
Kiss cake.
His cake.
You know those kiss cake?
Right.
Yeah, with the pink ice.
Yes,
there, you
yes,
know.
yes.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Well, now I'm hungry.
I love anything local, anything traditional.
Yeah.
Even with music, I'm big on calypso music, soca music, dancehall music.
Yeah.
I even see my playlist have a lot of R&B and hip hop. It says no.
No.
No. It could play, I'll listen to it,
Yeah.
but it's not my go-to music.
Right.
But dancehall, soca, calypso, yeah.
Yeah. So, who would you say would be maybe a dream artist that you want to work with or have on some of the sounds that you're about to produce? Or
Man, that's a long list.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to start a call because I don't want to leave out anybody or whatever the case is. But yeah, one of my biggest dream was to do a song with Beanie Man, and I did that.
Yeah.
And I have more than one song with him. But I am open to work with anybody.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everyone's talent. But if I used to call a top 5, that's gonna be hard. Some people might get offended. No.
But if you don't want to go there, if you don't have to go there, you can stop there. Yeah. We won't do that. But he, like you said, he's open and willing to work with everybody and sticking to that local.
But I respect my people. I respect especially my local people.
Right.
So obviously, someone like a Marshall is an icon. So you can't want to be involved in music and not want to work with somebody like him. So I can answer.
Yeah.
Marshall is definitely somebody. It don't have to be music. It could be a project. It could be some venture. So Marshall Montano, obviously, I call Bonji and Faye my brother and sister.
Yeah.
Because we have, out of all of them, I'm the closest with them in terms of communicating. Like, I could pull up by the house and all these things. Desha is somebody I have a very good mutual friendship with. And then they have the new ones, so the Putries. Obviously, Nyla is very gifted and talented. Nadia, there's Kes. Last night I had Lyrical here.
Oh, right. You're
Yeah. So, again, I'm just appreciative of people and their talent. I'm sure they appreciate my talent.
Right.
It's the same thing. So yeah.
When you think about your culture and Trinidad, and they call it the Mecca of all the carnivals whenever someone comes here in February or depending on Ash Wednesday, that timing lines up. But what is your experience? How has that been like? And have you been able to tap into other carnivals around the different islands of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I go to the carnivals, but so like, okay, recently I was in Miami for Miami Carnival.
Okay.
But I didn't go and take part in the actual jump up.
Yeah.
And someone will be like, how can you go to Miami for Carnival and not take part in the Carnival? I'm like, I'm from Trinidad. Like,
You know it.
So it's like,
Yeah.
So when I hear people talk about their carnivals, it's like, okay, no problem, but
Trinidadian, so.
Yeah, so we're not knocking anybody, but it is what it is, and I'm happy to know that my country is the #1 carnival in the world, and that's our biggest time of the year, one of, and but what I would like though is to see if our culture and our music, can penetrate in countries that not really familiar with it.
Yes.
And that was one of my long-term goal and vision.
Right.
So even places like India, to take soca music to India, get those people over there to understand and appreciate my culture. You know, they will be more familiar with the chutney side of things. But yeah, and that's easy because you just have to connect a Bollywood artist or a Indian singer and make a connection here. So I already had collaborations with artists from India, you
Right.
know. So, but yeah, I would like to see, you know, soca music really go to places that really don't really understand or hear it before, and get these artists to really push the culture.
That's part of the reason why I started this show, and especially the series when I told you I was interviewing other DJs, other artists, and wanting to get more exposure for you all, because I feel like there is a bit of that disconnect. People see and hear and know soca, maybe heard of Carnival, maybe they haven't, but they also don't know exactly the root of it or the artist of it, or why, you know, why it is what it is, and why it makes people so happy, and the lyrics behind it, and just the culture overall. So I appreciate that note, because I think that's like where the passion comes from wanting to talk to you and others and whatnot. Any piece of advice that you would say you want to give to somebody who's looking up to wanting to do something that you're doing, whether it's a professional athlete or your time in music, etc.?
Advice not only for someone who want to get involved in music or athletes, as you mentioned, but whatever your profession is, whatever your ultimate goal is, your life goal
Great.
is to just believe in yourself first. That's the most important thing. Believe in yourself, believe in where you want to go, and just roll the sleeve up and go, because your dream could never be someone else's dream, right? And the vision that you have, someone else cannot vision that for you. So, but a lot of people will ask opinion of others, and sometimes that person might say, "No, don't do this," because they're telling it that because they themselves can't do it, or they're fearful of failing, so they put that energy onto you. So whatever you want to do in life, just go after it. Just don't worry about failures, because you have to fail before you succeed. It's just like you have to fall, you have to get up, you know. And but the most important thing is to believe in yourself.
Thank you. I'm like feeling it right now. I'm like, I need to believe in myself. Sometimes you get into ruts, right? Like you're just sitting there and you're just thinking like, who am I? I'm not going to make it. Or like you doubt yourself. Sometimes people go through imposter syndrome. So thank you. I appreciate those words. But yeah, I think overall, when you encompass somebody who's done what you've done, and when you think about the successes that you've reached today, be proud of yourself. That's all I want to say, right? Like you retired. Like you said, you spent 22 years playing the sport of cricket, and you've inspired so many others. So thank you for believing in yourself, and thank you for doing what you do, because it's brought us here today.
Thank you for bringing me on your show. I do a brief look and see. Big up to Penny.
Yes.
So,
Oh, you
Penny,
see
that was a good episode.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, well, you might say, like, who is this person?
Yeah. That as well. Yeah.
Okay, so like at the end of the day, for me, this is, I know that's your passion, and a lot of people might think, okay, how do you get access to me?
Yeah.
You know, it might be difficult, you know, but it's just, it happened, guys. There's one little message.
Just never know.
She take her chances. Okay, no problem. I make the time. And it's just because it will mean a lot to you. And also for me as well, it's just for your platform that I'm able to contribute to help you develop your dream. You know, so that is basically.
And you mentioned being helpful, or you want to be helpful, you inspire others, and you did help me today, because Marval Road is not in Marval, okay? Or it's not in that, it's a little bit further out. There's different places to this area, so we're not going to get into that too much, okay? Let's just there's Trinidad's big, okay? But no, thank you so much again, and let's get some doubles, yeah?
Doubles. What's the time? 2 o'clock, you want doubles? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're like, is this a breakfast thing? I don't know why you're eating.
2 o'clock.
Doubles anytime. Or we can just get some bacon shirts. Something. We're gonna get some food. Thanks for joining again.